Alright friends, if you're here watching this video, you're probably one of those who just absolutely love Night Rod Special but feel too short for it. If so, don't worry much about it, and hopefully this video may help, right? So before anything else, I would just like to kind of tell you that I'm 5'5" and I'm 28-inch inseam. I ride 2014 Night Rod Special with ease and absolutely love this bike, right? It's gorgeous and I would not trade it for anything else. Now, something you may already be aware that the stock version may not be comfortable to many short profile riders as is, right? But there are many modifications you can do right from the Harley-Davidson which may improve comfort and help with the confidence. So if you're in a process of buying a new motorcycle, make sure that you kind of bargain this in, and most of the dealerships, do not mind kind of throwing this, adjustments right along with the bike. Right now, I badly struggled with the answer. I was not looking for a new one, if this is the right choice for me or not. The best thing to do is kind of go to the showroom and test ride it, right? Do not make a decision without test ride or in-person feel. When you test ride it, it may feel very uncomfortable, at least on the first instance, specifically if you have not been on a bike with the forward controls. But once you kind of get used to it, I'll tell you, over a period of time, you will love this the most than anything else. Alright, so below are some facts and kind of my research data which I accumulated before the decision, and hopefully this may help. Year and make is very important. It seems models before 2014 were not equipped with the standard reduced reach control. However, 2014 onwards, the bikes do come with reduced reach handlebar and foot controls. So if you're in a market for an older model, make sure that you know what you're buying, and rather have a feel of it than just making a decision remotely, right? This is one of the reasons you may be kind of forced to kind of look for a bike locally or nearby, where I guess it will pay the price over a period of time, right? When you know the bike better, it will help you kind of make a decision easier, right? Now, controls. Noticeably, all the latest models have forward controls, which means the brakes and the gears are a little forward than the mid position, more like any other standard bike, right? This is one of the major reasons why a short profile rider may feel very, very uncomfortable to start with, right? But there are mitigations to it, right? And keep watching and you will see below, what can you do to kind of get over this. Weight. This is extremely heavy bike, right? I prefer heavy because I plan to kind of ride freeways, and the additional weight add to the stability, right? But for a short profile rider, there are some negatives, right? You cannot roll back the bike because you do not have a full foot grip, right, very easily. So you would need to kind of avoid situations wherein you would have to do it, and you will learn it over a period of time, right? Worst case worse, you can always step down and roll the bike back, right? And there are some mods you will see down below which may help to even get over the situation. Power. One of the reasons probably you have made this decision is the power of this bike. The engine is beast, but you must be kind of mentally and physically prepared to handle it. Once you know the potential and ready to handle, it is every penny's worth in terms of what you invested on, right? Now, all the Harleys are width-wise quite wide, but this bike is extremely lengthy, which means that along with you spreading your legs too much width-wise to kind of adjust on top of your short inseam could be even more uncomfortable, and you may kind of be challenged to have arms stretched to reach the handlebar, right? Now, these can be mitigated with the reduced reach control, but something you may be kind of aware and think through, because the wiggle room is very less if you are in an unforeseen situation, right? Let's get into the reduced reach mods. Handlebar, right? 2014 and onwards come with a pre-installed reduced reach handlebar. Before models, it can be installed. Reduced reach foot controls, 2014 onwards, are pre-installed. Earlier models it can be added on. Reduced reach seat, this is primarily just to kind of help push a rider forward to reach to the handlebar and the foot controls. It does not pretty much help with the length or foot grip, right? There is something called as the mid-control conversion kit, which means you can take away the forward controls and convert it to a standard mid-control nature. I would not suggest this. I would say, you ride it for a month, even if it's uncomfortable, and then make this decision. But if you feel the need of it, go for it. I mean, nothing, this will help you with the confidence, if at all, if you want it, and would kind of keep you safe, right? I have not kind of done this, and I don't feel a need for this, right? With the exception of the mid control, I would say go for everything else. If you're in this situation, do not think much. Few $100s, yes, it's an extra money you have to spend, and with even if half-inch gain, it means a lot when you ride, right? Now, something shoes is easily ignored, but the biker shoes come with 1.5 to even 2 inches heel, and this is a significant gain if you're having length issues, and these shoes are nowhere close to kind of what women's shoes like. They're very evenly balanced, and one would barely notice it, right? So definitely get these if you have length issue, and not be kind of shy away from this, right? Shock absorbers, I kind of accidentally learned when my wife rode along with me. With the passenger weight, the bike does come down, and I was able to kind of touch ground very easily, right? So you could definitely lower the shock absorbers, but look at the manual guiding with respect to the settings you need for the weight you're putting on, and subsequent impact, right? Clothing, specifically jeans, I was used to kind of wear more tight inseam jeans, which are tight at the inseam. I realized that with the stock seat, if you're wearing more relaxed jeans, it does help relieve some pressure, right? Having all said and done, I was crazy about this bike and wanted to kind of, have this fit to me no matter what. And I did achieve my comfort zone, I guess. But, safety is above all, right? If everything inclusive, it's not giving you enough confidence to kind of ride this bike, move on. There are plenty other Harley models, which are designed for even lower height riders, and they're all gorgeous, right? And you would not want to compromise on the confidence and the feel. That is one primary thing which will keep you safe on the road, right? So let's move along and see how much difference reduce in a stock seat has, right? So main key thing is a back, right? If you look at it, the back width is about 3.5 to 4 inches, and look at the reduced reach seat is about 5 and a quarter or 5.5 inches, right? So you have about like 1 to 1.25 inches push, which is significant. Now I'll tell you, it is like a huge difference, right? Now, length of the seat, pretty much from your sitting posture, from the logo, if you measure it from there, is about 11 and 11, kind of same on both the seats, and there's not at all any difference, right? Now, another thing which was a botheration was a width on a stock seat, right? And the reduced reach does help there. So if you look at a stock, it's about 8 inches and a plus, right? And if you look at the reduced reach, it's about 7 inches. So you have about like 0.5 to 1 inches gain. And remember, that the seat will break in, and it'll get even better with time, right? So these two things itself, like the back push and the width about like an inch lower, are significant, right? I mean, at least I'm feeling much better, right? So let's have another look from the back side to make sure we have more accurate adjustments. And if you look at the stock seat again, from the back side, just where you sit is about like 12 inches, I guess, here. And if you look at the reduce is about like 11 inches approximately, so roughly an inch gap there. And this is where you sort of kind of puts a lot of pressure on your leg on this portion. So this is about like 8 inches on stock, right? And this is about 7 inches, and this will break in and even get better, right? So I mean, this is huge, right? Now the back of the seat is pretty much same, be it stock or reduced reach, and I think that's kind of intended because it just sort of blends well with the passenger seat there, right, or a pillion rider seat. So and that's really you really do not need any even if it's reduced, it would not make any difference at all as a rider. So let's have a look with first the stock seat and the regular shoes, right, and look at how far I could reach with my inseam. I have no problem whatsoever reaching the front controls. Now I cannot touch the ground fully, but then a slight trick you could do is lean the bike, and you could barely notice that I'm leaning the bike. That means my one foot go off the ground but other touches fully on the ground. And look at my arms, they kind of stretch. I don't have kind of bend. It may not feel, but I am relaxed actually, to kind of ride it. I have no problems. My legs also have some bend even with the stock seat, right? I have no problems reaching the control. But when you're on a long ride, I see myself kind of adjusting forward and back, and look at the back, right? There is a gap, right? And that gap is, even though it does not feel much at this point, it is a pain, when you're on a long ride, right? So let's have a similar stock seat feel but with Harley shoes, and these are 1.5 inches heel, and as I was mentioning earlier, they don't look anything like women's shoes, right? And they look nice and give you a lot of confidence. Now I wish I would have kind of bought 2 inches. As you may see that I'm still not able to kind of touch the ground completely, and I don't have any problems per se, but I guess the 2 inches would have been even more better, right? Now these shoes does not help with anything else. I guess a tad with the controls, reaching the controls, because these are longer. I guess the model I took profile wise, but with respect to the back of the seat, the gap, hand stretch, width, nothing else. It's just kind of pretty much reaching the ground, and that is all. And now if you were to kind of look at reduced reach, and this is kind of installed version, and later in the video you'll see how to install it. Look at the difference, right? My back kind of literally sits on the seat, right? And I am really kind of snugged and pushed forward. So 2 things, the arms and the legs, they kind of reach the foot controls and arms. I have about 1 inches push. My arms may not feel, that I have a bend, from this angle, but I'm much more relaxed, and this may not mean much when you kind of ride on a regular position, but this is huge if you're in an unforeseen situation. Look at the legs, I have a little more bend now, right? I'm much more comfortable there, and specifically with the leg stretch, 1 inch gap, kind of on the width of a seat is huge, right? It's much more comfortable. Now look at it, like how I'm struggling with my jeans, and this is what I was mentioning earlier. If you have more relaxed jeans, that does help and keeps you more comfortable. So it's just more, I guess, subjective, right? And this is another view with the regular shoes, and I'm feeling very comfortable with the regular shoes too. So I mean, it's just kind of purely your decision in terms of what you need. Alright, so let's kind of dive into how to install it. Installation is very, very simple. The seat is connected with only, or have purely 2 connectors. One is a central hinge connector, and then this is a wire connector. You do not need any specific tools. The wire connector just kind of comes out. You have to twist it, take it out from the hole, and that is all it is. The hinge has a plastic pipe kind of lock. All you just need is, with the help of a screwdriver or just with a gentle push down, and then take the lock back from the back side. Either way, once you take it out, that's all it is, and just slide the seat back, and that is all, and the seat is uninstalled, right? The reinstallation is, as simple. Just take the new seat and place it inside the hinges, or connect it back to the hinges, and put the plastic cap which acts as a lock. And the seat does come with kind of a spare for that. And just put the wire connector back, and before I mention about that, all you have to just do is kind of press this plastic pipe in, and make sure that you hear sort of a click sound, and it's evenly placed. Wire connector is as easy as you can install. Just put the wire through the hole and push the rubber kind of down to lock it, and that is all it is. Once the seat is installed, it kind of looks exactly same as stock, so you would not find any visible differences unless you very minutely look at it. So there's with respect to comfort and any of the things, this is as good as the stock, right? And it looks nice, right? So I hope this video has helped you, and kind of would help make your decision any easier. I just love this bike. Do not stop yourself. Go test drive it, and I hope this modification is gonna help you make a decision, right? Hope to see you sometime on the road. All right, take care.